Hey guys, Jfarr here. This video will cover each shotgun starting with the ammo, followed by the Waterpipe shotgun, double barrel, pump shotgun, spaz 12 and statistic comparison between each weapon. Let's first talk about the rounds the shotguns will be using. Each shotgun will fire a handmade shell, buckshot, incendiary shell and slug. These bullets will affect the damage, velocity and accuracy of each weapon, allowing it to be used in multiple situations. The handmade shell is the cheapest bullet you can craft for the shotguns. When fired, the shell will expel 20 low damage pellets, requiring you to be close to your enemy to deal the bullet's full effective damage. The handmade shell ranks second for the amount of damage it deals to players with a crawling velocity of 100. The handmade shell can be crafted without the need of a workbench, as it's a default blueprint. However, the ingredients required to produce a bullet, such as the gunpowder, will require a level 1 workbench. The handmade shell is commonly used within shotgun traps to defend your base, or raiding wooden doors with your Ooyy pistol. The buckshot is the most practical and designed bullet to use for your shotguns, as it deals the most damage through its 14 low damage pellets, and has the fastest velocity possible for the shotgun rounds at 225. Compared to the handmade shell, the buckshot deals around 17% more damage with 125% more velocity. The buckshot can be crafted at a level 2 workbench and requires a blueprint. The tech tree's total path cost to unlock is 400 scrap, while directly researching it will cost 75 scrap. The incendiary shell, as its name suggests, produces 10 flaming pellets, which deals secondary fire damage to enemies and remains on the floor for around 15 seconds. With a large spray, the incendiary shells can produce a deadly firewall, which can quickly kill enemies standing within it. Use these shells to create a firewall to stop enemy players from rushing you at choke points or lock them in rooms. These rounds rank third in damage and deal 20% less damage compared to the handmade shells, with the same velocity at 100. The incendiary can be crafted at a level 2 workbench and requires a blueprint. The tech tree's total path cost to unlock is 550 scrap, while directly researching it will cost 75 scrap. The slug, unlike other bullets, can be used for ranged combat, as it does not expel pellets and instead fires one high damage slug. The slug ranks last in damage and deals 125% less damage compared to the handmade shell, with the fastest bullet velocity shared alongside the buckshot at 225. The slug can be crafted at a level 2 workbench and requires a blueprint. The tech tree's total path cost to unlock is 475 scrap, while directly researching it will cost 75 scrap. It's recommended to use a scope with your gun when using this round to experience the full effect of the slug round. The Waterpipe shotgun is the cheapest and least effective shotgun you can acquire, making it a great weapon to use in situations that could get you lots of loot with little risk or just early wipe defense. The damage statistics for the Waterpipe include 80 damage for the slug round, 150 damage for the incendiary shell, 180 damage when using the default ammo, the handmade shell, and 210 damage for the buckshot. Based off the easiest to acquire round, the handmade shell, the weapon's overall DPS is 39, with the greatest possible DPS of 46 when using the buckshot round. The tech tree's total path cost to unlock is 395 scrap at a level 1 workbench, while directly researching it at a research table will cost 75 scrap. The gun can be recycled for a yield of 75 wood and 38 metal fragments. For attachments, the Waterpipe can take most of them and includes the 16x and 8x scope, hollow sight, simple handmade sight, weapon laser sight, and weapon flashlight. I would recommend against using any attachments as this is a low tier weapon. However, if you wish to attach an item, I would suggest using the laser sight for improved aim cone or flashlight. As for the aim cone, it is 13 degrees without the slug, which when firing at a target 20 meters away could deviate your bullets by around 4.5 meters. When using the slug, the aim cone becomes 1 degrees, causing your bullets to deviate by 0.43 meters. When using this weapon, the best loadout to use is burlap clothing, wood armor, bandana, and bandages for meds. You'll want to keep the loadout cheap as you'll primarily use this weapon when rushing it up to other players, camping corners, or defending your lower level gear. The wood armor and build-up clothing will help you sustain minimal damage, allowing you to get closer to your target to land the fatal shot. Finally, the water pipe can be found in a heavy scientist, elite tier crate, sunken chest, default chest, and oil rig scientist. The double barrel, as its name suggests, allows you to fire 2 quick shotgun shells, making it much more effective compared to the water pipe. The damages remain the same compared to the water pipe, with the extra shot giving you more opportunities to make plays and kill multiple players at once. The damage statistics for the double barrel include 80 damage for the slug round, 150 damage for the incendiary shell, 180 damage when using the default ammo, the handmade shell, and 210 damage for the buckshot. Based off the easiest to acquire round, the handmade shell, the weapon's overall DPS is 360, with the greatest possible DPS of 420 when using the buckshot round. The tech tree's total path cost to unlock is 520 scrap at a level 1 workbench, while directly researching it at a research table will cost 125 scrap. Along with crafting the weapon, it can be bought at the outpost for 250 scrap. However, this is a considerable amount of scrap to purchase just a double barrel, which you will then need to research for an additional 125 scrap on top of that. Considering you can purchase a Spaz 12 shotgun at the bandit camp for the same price, I would not recommend purchasing the double barrel. The weapon can be recycled for a possible yield of 88 metal frags and 1 metal pipe. For attachments, the double barrel is the same as the water pipe, and takes all attachments excluding the ones which attach to the barrel. Once again, I would recommend against using attachments as this is a cheap weapon to be used in dangerous situations. However, a laser sight or flashlight attachment wouldn't hurt. As for the aim cone, it is 12.5 degrees, which when firing at a target 20 meters away could deviate your bullets by around 4.4 meters. When using the slug, the aim cone becomes 0.5 degrees, causing your bullets to deviate by 0.17 meters. When using this weapon, the best loadout to use is burlap clothing, wood armor, a wolf headdress, bandana, and bandages for meds. Although you can use a hazmat suit to add increased protection against bullets, but this will be a bit more expensive. You'll once again want to keep the loadout cheap, as you primarily use this weapon when rushing up to other players, camping corners, or defending your lower level gear. Finally, the double barrel can be found in elite tier crate, sunken chest, heavy scientist, oil rig scientist, and basic crate. The pump shotgun is an upgrade in capacity and accuracy as a mid-tier weapon over the previous lower tier ones. The pump comes loaded with buckshot rounds, giving it a much more deadly default bullet. I would recommend when using the pump to use its default bullet, the buckshot, as it will deal more damage to protect the more valuable loot you should be carrying when using this weapon. The default statistics for the pump include 80 damage for the slug round, 150 damage for the incendiary shell, 180 damage for the handmade shell, and 210 damage when using the default ammo, the buckshot. Based off the easiest to acquire round, the handmade shell, the weapon's overall DPS is 165, with the greatest possible DPS of 193 when using the buckshot round. The tech tree's total path cost to unlock is 525 scrap at a level 2 workbench, while directly researching it at a research table will cost 125 scrap. The weapon can be recycled for a possible yield of 8 high quality metal, 1 metal pipe, and a 50% chance for 1 metal spring. For attachments, the pump can take each one and is recommended to be used with the laser sight and hollow sight to improve the aim cone and accuracy. As for the aim cone, it is 12 degrees, which when firing at a target 20 meters away could deviate your bullets by around 4.2 meters. When using the slug, the aim cone becomes 0 degrees, meaning no deviation of the bullet over any distance apart from the bullet drop. When using this weapon, the best loadouts to use could include the hazmat suit, leather clothing with road sign armor, or jackets while using the buckshot or slug rounds when roaming to protect yourself. Finally, the pump can be found in a supply drop, elite tier crate, lock crate, heavy scientist, military crate and oil rig scientist. The Spaz 12 is the only military grade shotgun within the game, and thanks to its fast fire rate and capacity of 6 shots, it gives you the highest DPS of any gun within the game when being fired. With the incendiary rounds loaded up, the Spaz 12 can quickly create a deadly firewall, killing players who stand in its way thanks to its fast fire rate. The damage statistics for the Spaz 12 include 60 damage for the slug round, 112 damage for the incendiary shell, 135 damage for the handmade shell, and 157 damage when using the default ammo, the buckshot. Based off the easiest to acquire round, the handmade shell, the weapon's overall DPS is 540, with the greatest possible DPS of 628 when using the buckshot round. The Spaz 12 cannot be crafted or researched as it's a military grade weapon, but instead can be purchased at the bandit camp for 250 scrap. The weapon can be recycled for a possible yield of 10 high quality metal, 2 metal pipes and a 50% chance for 2 metal springs. For attachments, the Spaz can take each one and is once again recommended to be used with the laser sight and hollow sight to improve the aim cone and accuracy. Additionally, a silencer can be added for stealth kills and will further improve the accuracy of the weapon. As for the aim cone, it is 12 degrees, which when firing at a target 20 meters away, could deviate your bullets by around 4.2 meters. When using the slug, the aim cone becomes 0 degrees, meaning no deviation of the bullet over any distance apart from bullet drop. When using this weapon, the best loadouts to use could include a hazmat suit, leather clothing with road sign, or metal armor when using buckshot or slug rounds when roaming to protect yourself. The Spaz can also be used for home defense, in which case would be best used with the heavy plated armor, allowing you to become a walking tank. Finally, the Spaz can be found in a lock crate, supply drop, helicopter crate, elite tier crate, military tunnel scientist, APC crate, and heavy scientist. Let's now compare each weapon damage and DPS side by side to get a good understanding of where each weapon stands. When using the weapon's default bullet, the pump shotgun rules king at 210 damage. However, when using the same ammo for each gun, such as the handmade shell, the pipe, double barrel and pump deal the same damage, while the Spaz 12 deals slightly less. We get a better picture of the gun's close range usefulness when looking at its DPS, with the Spaz 12 topping the charts at 628 when using the buckshot, with the double barrel coming in second at 420 DPS. While the pipe shotgun's DPS is greatly punished due to its 1 bullet capacity, if you manage to land that one shot, it's just as effective as every other shotgun, so don't let that stop you from making plays. To sum up the shotguns, the Spaz 12 is the overall champion in terms of DPS, capacity and effectiveness in all situations. However, if you're relying on your first or second shot to kill the enemy player, I would suggest using the double barrel shotgun as it's cheap to produce and retains the second fastest rate of fire with the highest damage per shot if using the buckshot, making it great for home defense or corner camping. Thanks guys for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.